Hello guys, so I took this trade with the 714 method, and obviously as you can see the final TP has been hit. This is a marvelous trade, right? Now basically all you need to understand is whenever the 714 method aligns with a much more bigger move, just try and be patient and do what? Execute a better trade, right? Now in about 2 minutes I'm going to backtest this with you guys. I'm going to explain every single step that I took in order to execute this marvelous masterpiece. So basically, when you look within this zone, which is the 714 method, we were in a downtrend. And if we're in a downtrend, our expectations is that price should hit a support and resistance, fair value gap, and another block, and price should reverse all the way up, taking out what those lower highs. So basically, we want a rejection that will confirm or just push us into an uptrend, right? And we are doing this based on what support and resistance, fair value gap, and another block. You can already see we're in a downtrend, right? Now, look at how simple what today was. Just look at how simple this trade was, because this trade was quite marvelous. Look at it. This right here was our last order block. Just look at it. This was already a confirmation enough, right? When price was coming into the zone, all you needed to see is what? Either a bullish engulfing candle, a hammer, something that shows that buyers are coming into the market. You can also wait for a change of character. And today, or on this trade, everything lines up. Obviously, you can also see that there was a change of character with that bullish engulfing candle. What were you waiting for? All you needed to do was execute your trade. Now, if you are someone who is quite nosy and you want to actually understand, is this going to be a big move or a small move? You can always look at the bigger time frame, right? And looking at the bigger time frame, this is what we are having. We can see a very serious downward movement. This downward movement was also on a trend line. Look at it. It was also on a trend line that kept hitting price up and up and up. Now look at this from this range right here. You can see that from Asia's high, price shoots all the way down to that trend line. After hitting that trend line, what do you see happen next? You can obviously see that price consolidated for a while. This right here became a consolidational zone for what? For price. So after a consolidation, that's right, there is a squeeze, right? Every consolidation is a squeeze. After a squeeze, there has to be a breakout, either a retest or you execute your trade based on that breakout. All you need to do is just mark the first highs of the consolidation. Now, marking the first highs of the consolidation, we can obviously see that yes, we had a fake out right here. So all you needed to do if you wanted to trade based on this right here was for price just to break above this trend line. Either come back for a retest, so you could have also waited for price to do what? Break above, come back for a retest, and you execute your trade based on this retest right here. Or if you are someone who needs a fast move, you just execute your trade and move on. It's that easy. So today there was a lot of reasons for you to do execute your trade based on this movement alone. You could have already been in your trade right here. Now this was enough for me. This right here was enough for me. But if I'm trading, I always rely on demand and supply zones. My whole trading strategies and everything I do in trading always relies on what? Demand and supply zones, because these are the key to executing better trades. So what was I looking at? I was actually looking at this zone right here. So you can see from here all the way through to this zone right here. This is the last week's, right? I wasn't interested in the last week. So this was what I was looking at. To me, this right here was a perfect demand zone for price to actually continue pushing all the way up, because we can already see it happening once, twice, thrice, four times, and this is the fifth time price came all the way back into it. So all I needed to do was execute my trade. And because price also gave me a change of character in addition. Look at that change of character with massive bullish candle. All you need to do is do what? Just execute your trade and you are good to go. So I executed my trade immediately. Now, why was I actually looking forward for price to push all the way up to? Now, I don't really put my first TP because I look for rejectional zones. Price went to this level right here that I took my first TP. But this right here was my last TP. That's right there is the biggest TP of the week, right? So this right here was my last TP. That was where I was actually targeting for price to do what? Push all the way up to before I can actually get out of this trade. Now I've told you guys if you are scaling in your account, if you are building your account just a little bit, bit by bit, and you want to start using bigger lot sizes like I'm using, please try your best and start integrating the bigger time frame into your trades, because that's the only way you can be able to execute bigger lot sizes without getting what worked right or without getting wrecked. It's very, very simple. So this was what we're having on the bigger time frame. You can see the price is already going up. Yes, I'm still in the last trade and price is already going up, but this is what we are having. So, and I was targeting this zone because price hit it right here and hit it right there again. That's right there becomes a support zone. And because this is a rolling trend, this right here is a rolling trend. Rolling trend simple means that price wants to continue shooting all the way up, but it hasn't actually gotten the right level. You can also see that we were still on a what? Our huge trend line. Price did not actually do anything bad, it was still on that trend line and we were just retesting this last level right here. So that was why I was actually targeting here, because I was quite confident that price is converting from that sell trend all the way up into a buy trend. So I want to be in that what bigger move. And that was just it. You don't really need any reason or any big, this is not really a big deal. You don't really need any big analysis to execute a better or good trade. You don't really need it. Now price did went all the way up and started what consolidating. Why am I saying price started consolidating? Because it changed into a trend zone. It changed into a trend zone, right? But there's something about trends that you should understand. So when you look closely, you realize that we were now trending around this zone right here. You can see the last high. You can see the last high is what's aligning, and you can see the bottom lows what's aligning. So we're trending around this zone right here. But what a lot of people don't understand is trends are in what two different types. We have a collapsing trend and an open trend, right? So a collapsing trend is basically when price is in an uptrend. Let's look at this. And before you realize, we are having something that looks like this. So something that looks like this, yes, we are in a trend, and you should be looking forward to executing your trade based on that what trend movement or that consolidation. But this is collapsing because you can see buyers reducing in what the pressure, right? The buying pressure is reducing. So this right here becomes a collapsing trend. But if it's pushing all the way up with the same momentum, look at it with the same momentum, this shows that that is an open what trend. Price is still hoping to continue pushing all the way up. So with this, you don't really get out of the trade. You can still wait to see what is going to happen next. All you need to do is probably just trail your stop loss. You can bring your stop loss all the way back to this low right here, because that's right there was a bigger support zone. So just right there around this zone, you can put your stop loss, and let's see what actually happened. So you can see that price was coming back for a retest but couldn't. That is a new day just opened, so price couldn't actually come all the way back down for that retest. But what do you see happening right here? You can see that yes, because that was an open trend, because that was an open trend, price will continue to shoot all the way up. Yes, because it's an open trend. It shows that yes, buyers are still in the market. These are just sellers coming into the market, but they can't outnumber what the buyers. That was just it. And price just went all the way up to the last TP. Pretty much easy, as you can see, very, very easy, very, very simple. And currently I think price is still shooting all the way up, right? So yes, this right here is just look at it. Currently price is still shooting all the way up. We are at this last high right here, and we are still hoping for price to continue pushing all the way up. Now this was the trade. You can see how easy and simple it was. It did not actually need any big deal for you to execute a trade, right? You don't really need that. Sometimes you just have to understand that price is always going to move. It's just left with you to catch that bigger move. When you catch that bigger move, just allow the trend to continue pushing all the way up, right? It's that simple. Yeah, so that's just it. Please try your best and learn how to integrate the bigger time frame into the smaller time frame, so that you have a smooth and continuous movement if you are executing your trades. You see that this was quite huge, and the final TP actually got hit. Very, very simple, very, very easy. You do not need to actually stress yourself that much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.